Hey, just wanted to put out a quick guide on how to do Vaati Manip. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I'm just going to show the way that I know how to do it. But as far as I know, nobody's ever really made a guide on this. Like, there's plenty of videos of people just doing their manip with like no voice whatsoever, and you can try to just kind of copy them and work it out for yourself. Thought it might be helpful to kind of show mine, play through it, point out some visual cues I use. Alright, so let's get started. You may already be familiar with how the Darknut manip works. I won't talk about this too much. I believe this is just Vlak's Darknut manip. So for this part, it should be pretty easy to follow the movement. Obviously, like most manips, all that really matters is that you do the correct number of rolls and sword slashes, boots uses, all that stuff in each of the rooms here. So I'm just going to kind of let this part play through because it should be pretty easy to follow. Alright, so once you get into the first room here, it's pretty easy. You're just going to walk up, clear out the TLoZ text. As soon as all the text is gone, you're going to do one roll, and then usually I would have cape equipped already. I didn't here. But typically you would have cape equipped and sword. You're going to do one roll and jump over that guy. This is the first room where it gets tricky. So you're going to want to start this slash as soon as you clear the TLoZ text. And you're going to walk over to this right clone platform. Now while you're sitting over here, you're going to see these two Keatons up at the top. You can see one's facing down and one's like walking off to the right. If you see that, then you know you're on the right seed still. So you're just going to want to charge up and try to move off the clone pattern, the clone tile as soon as your first clone gets made. And then all of this can be a little tight. So you want to be very, very late on these slashes. Like you want to walk to where you think you're going to get hit by the Keaton before you slash. So if we just kind of go through this real quick. Like, look at how close I am to this Keaton before I do this slash. And this first Keaton tends to be the most finicky one. So you just want to make sure you get really close to this Keaton before you slash him. It's the same thing with these ones. Jump back a little too far there. It's okay, we can just rewatch this part. Alright, so very late slash. And one thing that kind of helps is make sure you actually see the Keaton turn around and face downward before you do that slash. That should kind of help you with the timing. If he's still facing up when you do this slash, it's definitely too early and it's not going to work. Alright, so all of these. Like, again, I'm like basically about to get hit by this Keaton when I slash him. Same thing here. I'm basically about to get hit by these two Keatons when I slash, and same thing right here. So just keep in mind as you're going through this room, you want to get very close to the Keatons before you slash. Once you've done this fourth slash, killed off all these guys, you can just keep walking up until you hit these buttons. Once you hit the buttons, you just want to walk up. Your clones are automatically going to get canceled because you're going to walk into these other Keatons. As soon as that happens, you can walk right here. And once you're in line with the door, you can just roll up. A good way to know that you're still on the right seed is you can see one Keaton's about to charge off on the left here, and then these two group together. There's the upper one's facing down, the other one's facing left. If you see that, you can be pretty confident that you're still on the right seed. Alright, once you enter this Darknut room, we need to advance RNG 2 times before the Darknuts spawn. So obviously you could do 2 sword slashes. What I tend to do is a sword slash and then a roll. And then you're going to get this cutscene, so you just want to mash through this cutscene real quick. You're going to start walking up. I like to jump right when I'm... you see that light like part of the carpet there that kind of breaks up the outer circle and the inner circle? So I try to jump right about then, and it's just a quick A tap. As soon as you jump and land, you're going to turn down, and you're going to roll to follow this black Darknut. You'll go right through these 2 red guys. For this, we need to do a total of 6 slashes, and the way that we can kill this Darknut while doing that is the first 2 sword slashes are going to be slash hold. So you're going to slash, keep B held, and walk down a little bit so your sword contacts the Darknut a second time. You're going to do that twice, and then you're going to do 4 well-timed slashes, like how you would typically fight a Darknut, where you kind of put a little bit of delay between your slashes. As soon as that 4th slash comes out, you're going to roll right and walk up a tiny bit. You're going to see that right Darknut slashed, and now he's kind of frozen in place for a second here. Now you want to do another 5 of those well-timed slashes to keep him stun locked. And something very important in this part is Link and the Darknut are going to kind of move a tiny bit. You have to adjust your movement a little bit. You kind of want Link to always be about like even with the center of the Darknut. So if you watch here, I'm kind of walking up a little bit so I keep in line with him. And another thing is that you'll see that shell drop at the bottom of the screen. That's another way that you can know that you're still on a good seed here. So as soon as you do your 5 slashes, I just kind of hold up and then up left until I'm in line with this door. You want to give this other guy a chance to just walk up to you. As soon as you see him go into that charge animation like that, you're going to face down and jump. As soon as you land, you're going to go up and you're going to do, again, 5 of those well-timed slashes. Now, in this room, once you're at this point, you need to do a total of 7 RNG advances before you enter Vaati. So, I did 5 slashes to kill the Darknut. I need 2 more. I could just wait for the door to open and then do 2 slashes and walk through it. However, if you do a 6 one, so you do 5 to kill a Darknut and then 1 extra, you'll actually get a heart drop, which can be helpful in case one of your Vaati manips goes wrong. And then so I did that 6 one. I got the heart drop. Now we need 1 more advancement before we leave the room. So you can either spam roll out of the cutscene, or you can try to time the slash as you're walking up into the staircase. If you're choosing to time the slash, be very careful, because if you mistime it, you might just walk through without slashing, and then your whole manip is ruined. There is really no saving it beyond that. All right, so you can see here I just opted to do a roll, make sure I'm on the right seed. All right, once you get into the Vaati 1 fight, so a lot of this manip is not too difficult, but there are some tricky parts, and I would say the most tricky part is right at the beginning here. So the way that I opt to do this is I hold up left out of this cutscene, and I'm going to wait until Link hits around the lighter part of the outer circle here. So I'll pause once I get there. So I walk, and you can see I'm kind of like right on in between these 2 light lines. So I hold up left. As soon as I see Link hit this position, I tap down and I slash the sword, and that should catch the first eye. And then the second eye, you just need time. So you'll see it coming in from the side, and right as it's about to cross your path, you can slash it. Then you're going to want to face up. Vaati's eyes are going to be open. This is another tricky part about Vaati 1 manip. So in the first phase, you need to slash the eye 6 times in order to advance him to the next phase. In the second phase, you need a total of 10 slashes between the 2 times his eye is open. And then in the third phase, you need 12. And 6 is the most you're going to be able to get in. So the way that I find the easiest to make sure that I hit all 6 of my slashes on him, because it can be kind of tight, is I do 3 sets of 2 quick slashes. So if you watch here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm doing like a double tap, wait a couple frames, a double tap, wait a couple frames, a double tap. And as long as you get all 6 of those hits in, you're good. Now what I'd like to do is I like to come up to the left of Vaati, and I stand like right on this pattern of the carpet, like right on the edge here. As soon as his, and you have to do 3 slashes before he shoots the eyes out. As soon as the eyes come out, one's going to be immediately in front of you. You can slash it right away. The second one's going to stop right in front of you and slash that one. And then you can just move down and then right to clean up the other 2 eyes. As soon as you kill that right eye, you want to tap left. And again, we're doing that 6 slashes. So tap, tap, wait, tap, tap, wait, tap, tap. All right. As soon as you get those in, I'm going to go to almost the exact same spot. I typically position just a little bit higher for this part. This is the next tricky part about this manip, is that now you have to hit all 4 eyes with exactly 4 slashes, and they're going to be moving pretty quickly. So this part's just going to take a little bit of practice to feel out the rhythm of when to slash. So if you watch, slash, 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 slash. So you just got to make sure you time that. If you miss any of those slashes, there's really no recovering from there. And then as soon as that 4th eye is killed, I walk right to a little bit. You're going to see Vaati kind of hovers to the left a little bit. I actually want him to move that little bit to the left. So that's why I just delay a tiny bit while he's moving. As soon as he hits this position, you can kind of see his like horns are in line with that pillar right above him. And so since on the second phase, we only need a total of 10 hits between both times the eye opened, we already did 6 the first time. So you actually only need to get in 4 right now, which is pretty easy. So I do this in the same manner. Tap, tap, wait, tap, tap. That's your 4. As soon as I get that 4th slash in, I walk up. You want to try to make sure that Link is like almost dead center with Vaati. So I walk up and I push against the pillar here, and I'm looking for Link's head to be like right in the middle of Vaati's horns. It's not like super precise. Like you can see I'm a little bit to the left here, and that's okay. You just want to be relatively in line with the center of Vaati. As soon as you are confident that you are lined up well, do your 3 slashes, and then you're going to want to equip Gust Jar. Then what I do is I walk down a tiny bit. So basically you won't really see Link's sprite because you've walked down and you're kind of hiding behind Vaati. And the reason for this is that we want to get hit as soon as he charges up the like dark balls that you have to clear out with the Gust Jar. So you can see I'm going to get hit. As soon as I realize I've been hit, you can just quickly tap A. You only need to hit it for a frame. It's not like frame perfect or anything. Like you have a couple frames, but really as long as you just tap it, you should be all right. That's going to ensure that we instantly clear out the dark clouds that would usually be around the eyes here. And it makes sure that we didn't change the RNG at all, except for the 1 tap of Gust Jar. All right. So as soon as your Gust Jar goes off, you're going to start walking left, and you're going to have to catch this first eye. So like right about when Link is like in line with this kind of flame part of the wall here, you're going to want to slash to catch that first eye. The second eye is going to stop right about where this pot is. So after that first one, you just walk left a tiny bit more and do your second slash. Then they're going to fire lasers. So this is kind of like the second set where they're firing lasers in this position, and you can just kind of walk up to them, slash them. As soon as you kill that eye on the right, you're going to want to roll to the right and just kind of wait here a little bit, because Vaati's going to appear right in front of where your roll ends. As soon as you see him stop shaking, that means you can actually hit him, and we're going to need another 6 slashes, so just like the other phases. So, all right, get your 6 slashes in. You're going to want to walk up a little bit and roll past Vaati. You're going to want to be about in line with, if you look on the right, there's like a window there, and there's like light coming in that's hitting the ground. So you want to be around the top of that is where you're rolling. As soon as your roll ends, face left, do a sword slash, and hold that slash out so you can line Link up with the bottom of the window. Once you're confident in your positioning, you can do 1 more slash, and then what you want to do here is as soon as that slash finishes, you want to use Gust Jar and start holding left, ideally on the exact same frame. If you are 1 frame off of those inputs, it will still work. You just have to be able to recognize a different pattern, and I will put that in at the end of the video after I go through the rest of the Manip. So in this case, this is what I would call the standard pattern. Vaati doesn't move at all, his eyes start rotating. So once you get hit, like you're walking in a Vaati with a Gust Jar, you're going to get hit, so it's going to cancel your Gust Jar. You're just going to want to walk up, slash that first eye. They're going to go into a laser attack, so this part's pretty easy because you can just walk up to them. Very important, with this pattern, once you've killed that 3rd eye, you want to wait a little bit here, and you're going to see Vaati start to move. As soon as you see him start to move, you're safe to slash that eye on the right. And then again, we need our 6 slashes. As soon as we've done all 6 slashes, Vaati 1's dead. That's great. Now we need to adjust our seed to make sure that Vaati 2 starts on the correct seed. So we're going to equip Boots and Bow, because that's what we need for the start of Vaati 2. And then when you have this pattern, all you need to do is channel a full Boots charge. So boom, there you go. And then you can just wait. It'll bring you over. All right. This is a new Vaati 2 Manip I'm doing. It's pretty similar to my old one, but it's just a little bit faster. So as soon as Vaati 2 starts, you want to walk right. I look for Link to be about in line with the right side of the right clone tile here. As soon as Link is in that position, I face up and I do bow shot, boots cancel. Bow shot, boots cancel. So you're going to do 2 quick bow shots with boots cancels. That should hit the bottom 2 eyes, just like that. Once that second bow shot comes out, you want to walk to the left a little bit to hit this eye, and then walk to the right and hit this eye. Then you need sword, 2 sword slashes. So these 2 sword slashes, if you've done everything right, you're going to connect that bow shot, you're going to put on your sword, and these 2 slashes are going to come out right about when Vaati is jumping up here to like shoot out all the purple spike things. It's not super tight here. As long as you're in like a reasonable frame window for these 2 slashes, you're going to be okay. All right, so you do 2 slashes, you hold the second one, and you come over here to start cloning. So you want to be a little careful here. So sometimes Vaati can like bump into you as you're trying to clone on that first tile. If that happens, that is okay. You just need to make sure that the tile registered as having a clone on it, and make sure you don't walk your sword into Vaati. All right, so you're going to put 2 clones over there. You're going to put 1 down here. We're going to wait just a tiny bit. So while Vaati's kind of like bouncing around like he does the whole fight, he's constantly cycling RNG. When he goes into his attacks, his lightning, his boulders, or his like purple spike thing, he temporarily stops bouncing around, so he stops shuffling the RNG. So we're going to use that to our advantage here. We're going to wait. We're going to see Vaati start to charge a lightning attack. As soon as we see that, you can walk up. That'll complete your clones. You'll automatically do a spin attack, and this will actually do enough damage to Vaati to trigger him into the next phase. Once that spin finishes, you can cancel your clones, and you're going to want to walk up here. So you can kind of go off of this eye pattern on the floor here. I like to walk a little bit above it, so that Link's facing kind of like between the top and the top right set of eyes that appear. Once you're happy with your position, do 2 slashes and put on your bow. You're going to want to hold out your bow. Do not jump the gun on this bow shot. We need Vaati to move a little bit so that the eyes have spawned in and are able to be hit. So the way I do this is you kind of see Vaati jump up and then hit the ground, and then he's going to immediately start to move up. Once you see him start moving, you can release your bow and do a boots cancel, and then quickly send out another shot. So 1, cancel, 1, cancel. So depending on how you time this shot, you'll either hit these bottom 2 right eyes like I have here, or you'll actually hit the top right eye and the bottom-most one. Either way, that is okay. Just walk and hit whichever 2 are remaining. As long as you do that reasonably quickly, you'll be okay. As soon as you've hit this 4th eye, put on your sword again, turn right and do a slash, and we're going to start charging up to clone. Nothing's going to hit you here, so just clone just like this. Now, once you clone, Vaati's going to jump up in the air like this. As soon as he hits the ground, you can slash him. And if you see this boulder on the bottom right, that's a pretty good sign that you've done everything right to this point. So as soon as you slash this, turn away, start charging your spin into him. As soon as that spin goes off, you can just walk left. That'll automatically cancel your clones because they'll walk into Vaati. And then you're going to put on your bow. I like to position Link right about so he's like half on this clone tile and half off of it. And this is the same idea with the second phase. So you're going to hold the bow out facing up. As soon as you see Vaati start to move, you're going to release, cancel, and then do another shot right away and cancel. So 1, 2. That should hit those left 2 eyes. Then he's going to bob to the left. So you can actually just do a tiny right tap, face up again, and do another bow shot. And then you can do a tiny right-left tap, so you're facing left. Hold out your bow, and just make sure you hit that other eye. You don't have to aim it too much, but you might have to do just a tiny adjustment based on what your positioning was like. As soon as you've hit this eye, you can pull out your sword again, do an upward slash. Vaati's just going to be completely harmless here, so as soon as you see him go over to the right side, it's safe to move over to those 2 clone tiles. Place your 2 clones there, place 1 here, clone right away. And right out of your clone, you can just start walking up. Vaati's going to end up right above you. You might have to adjust a tiny bit to the left like I did here to make sure that your slashes hit all 4 eyes. And then assuming that's it, you've just done Vaati Manip. So just finish the fight as normal, and there you go. So I'll have one more clip of the alternate pattern that Vaati 1 can give you. And then other than that, that's everything. So hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully that clears up if you weren't sure some of the little things that can go wrong with the manip. And hopefully it'll give you some better visual cues if you didn't have any. Alright, thanks. Alright, so here's the clip for the alternate ending that you might get during Vaati 1. So this part's the same. 6 slash, roll, slash, slash, gust jar. So in my experience, there's two things that can lead to different patterns here. It's either that your left and gust jar inputs registered 1 frame apart, or it's just a very minor positioning issue, and it's totally okay. So you'll either get the pattern that I showed in the full video, where Vaati stays exactly where he is, and the eyes kind of move around, and you just kind of go around and slash them there. Or what might happen is you'll get this. If you get this, it's okay. So you can see when I got hit with the gust jar, I started walking up left, getting ready to slash the eye at the top that would have been there if he had not moved. As soon as I realize he's teleporting, that's fine. You keep walking left, and you want to get over to right around where this like top left circle of the carpet is. Vaati's going to appear, and you're going to want to slash an eye pretty much as soon as you get to that location. And then again, you're going to want to catch that second eye. And then he's going to stop and laser. There's a lot like the second and fourth phases. So as long as you catch those first 2 eyes, you're fine. Just walk down, hit this eye, walk right, hit this eye. Do your 6 slashes. And then the adjustment that we need to do if we get this pattern's a little bit different. So you need to advance RNG 9 times here before going to Vaati 2. With the other pattern, it was 12 times, so that's just a full boots charge. 9's a little awkward. You could technically do 2 boots dust and a slash. I find that really awkward just because I hate having to do boots dust that's not just a full charge. And you don't have a lot of time here. What I find to be a little easier is 9 slashes, and it's a little bit tight. But I do this kind of like how I do Vaati, the hits on Vaati, where it's like tap, 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 except that I'm doing taps of 3. So 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, wait. As soon as those 9 come out, you're fine. You're on the right RNG. You can put on your boots and bow and just wait for it to bring you over. And then you can see we're on the exact same seed as we were in the main video. All right. Yeah, that should be everything. So thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, leave comments or just hit me up in Discord and hopefully I can help you out.